G'day guys, this is Samus Thar and welcome to a new video about Agricraft. This is going to be a short video about how to use crop sticks and plant seeds in order to grow their stats so that you can get more produce out of a single seed. A friend asked me to do this video because they couldn't find anything online that really explained it, so I will try to go through it slowly and explain all the particular mechanics. Okay, so the first thing you need to do to start off is get yourself a seed analyzer. Okay, so it's usually a couple of sticks, wooden slabs, stone slabs, some planks, and a glass pane. Okay, so you can look up that recipe. The very first thing we need to do, usually then, to get a seed analyzer, is get yourself some crop sticks, which are made using 4 sticks, makes 4 crop sticks. Once you have the crop sticks, you start by placing them down and putting a seed inside them. Alright, now usually before you put the seed inside them, you want to, if you pick up a seed from a village, you want to analyze that seed. Now you don't have to, because even if you don't analyze it, it's still going to have the same stats, which will be 1, 1, 1. Okay. So the stats that we want to increase, we've got 1 out of 10. So growth is how fast the seed will grow. Gain is how much produce you'll get out of this seed once it's grown to maturity. And strength is, there's a couple of things of strength. One is if weeds are turned on, how resistant it is to weeds, whether it can stand against the weeds growing and crushing it, or it also plays into clipping, which we'll talk about later. So once you put it down, you need to grow it. So I've got myself some, you can use either a watering can, if it's available in the pack, or bone meal. And we want it to grow to maturity. Now, once we've got it mature, you want to put down cross crops, which should be like that. So you can click once, click twice, or you can shift click to get both down once. Now, one thing to remember is if you put it just down like this, mature crop will eventually spread to this. And you won't even have to analyze this, because that will essentially become exactly the same as the first one, which was 1, 1, 1. So when you're trying to create a mutation, you want to be quick in putting down your cross crops, so that you don't just get a spread of the same stats. Okay, now if in the config is turned on, because not always is in every pack, you want to make sure that whether a single parent can increase the stats through mutation. So if you have a single parent or not. So some mod packs don't allow you to do this. But basically, I don't know, bone mealing or using water can, but you want to basically get it to put seeds in here. Daytime plays an important role in this usually, because the amount of light that you have will determine whether this actually is working. You can use torchlight, but it's probably less effective. Now, as you see, this may take some time to happen. It might be fast, it might be slow. Now if you, oh there we go. Okay, so now we've got that to spread. The next thing I want to do is analyze this seed. You can always tell that it's the seed you broke because it's unidentified. Okay, I can see there we actually got no mutations, which happens. Let's be honest, it actually can happen. So all you can do is put down another cross crop and try again. Now if you want to water this, if I was to right click this with the watering can, I'm going to harvest it just like that. Because it's a 1, 1, 1, all I'm going to get is 1. I got 1 weed out of that. So I need to grow this back up to maturity, because while it's not mature, this will not mutate. Alright, it has to be mature for it to work. So if you want to water these, you need to sneak or hold shift while you're doing it, and therefore you won't be harvesting anything. Usually with a watering can, because it does a 3x3 area, I usually just water right next to it. It should increase the chance of it mutating. Okay, so now we've got this seed. We will analyze it, and hopefully this time we get a mutation. And there we go. So we got 2 points. We got a 2 on growth, 1 point gain on growth, and 1 point gain on gain. So that's just one parent. So let's do that again. This time I'm going to do a comparison between 1 parent, 2 parents, and 3 parents and 4 parents. Right, so depending on how you want to do this, having more parents can increase the stat increase, basically. It doesn't always work, but it has the potential for a lot more points to be gained per mutation. So let's just grow all these crops to maturity. Okay, there we go. So as I said, you need to wait till they're mature. If in the case of this one, if I put these cross crops down before all 3 are mature and there was mutation, it will only be based on the mature one. So if 2 out of the 3 of them were mature, it would be as if I'm doing this one, because it will not count the 3rd parent. Okay, so now what we need to do is just wait for all of these to pop. Okay, and they've all popped, so they're all mutated. So let's just see if we can get all 4 seeds. Okay, so this is, where is it? There's 1. This one popped first, so it's actually got mature. It's 2, that's 3 parents, and this is 4 parents. Okay, so let's see the stat increases of the different parents. Now they won't all increase in many stats, so that gave me 1 point. Alright, 1 parent gave me 1 point. Sometimes you get 2, much like we saw in this one here. But the minimum you'll get is 1 point increase from 1 parent. 2 parents gave me 1 point. As I said, this can happen. Usually you get a minimum of 2, but you can only get 1. It's a calculation by the game itself. So 3 parents. Okay, so this gave us 2 points as opposed to 3. And 4 parents. Well, this gave us 4 points. So 1 for growth, 1 for gain, 2 for strength. So it gave us the most. 4 parents gave us 4 points. So let's just do that again and see if it follows the same rules. And we'll just see what these give us this time. Because basically if you don't like the stats that they give you, you can always put down another cross crop and try again. Sometimes that will be quicker than planting that new one and then trying to go through this process again. So we'll just get all these to grow, and then I'll be back in a minute. So we're back and all of them have popped. So let's see what our comparison will give us now. 1 parent, 2 parent, 3 parent, 4. Okay, so analyze the one with 1 parent in it. This time we got 3 points, so that's good. This one gave us none. Three parents gave us 3 points. And 4 parents. Now this is interesting. This actually gave us 6 points. So it gave us 2 for growth, 2 for gain, 2 for strength. So as you see here, the 1 parent actually gave us 3 points. similar to 4 parents giving 6 points. The minimum you should get is 1 point, although as we saw with this one, it gave us none, so it didn't mutate at all. This gave us the minimum of 3 points, 1 for each parent, and this one gave us 6, which is 1 for each parent plus a couple of extra points. There's no guarantee that it will mutate all the time. There's no guarantee that you'll get, the first round I only got 1 point out of 2 parents, so there's no guarantee you're going to get the same number of points as parents. Now, this is the more complicated way to do this. It takes more effort to actually grow this, because I'll move on to the next state. So once you get your upgraded seed, or you're going to start the process again. Now you've got 2 ways you can do this. You can do if it's turned on, and you can use 1 parent to increase the stats. You could do the basically the unmanaged way, which is you just put down a long line of cross crops, and if you want, you can even snake it around like this, and what will happen is this will go to mature, it will spread to the next one, gaining stats, then grow up, then spread to the next one, gaining stats, then grow up, and it will continue on until at some point in this line it will reach 10 10 10, and then it will just continue producing 10 10 10 seeds. That will take longer because of course you're only working on 1 parent every step along the way, so your stat increase will be slow. Otherwise you can basically go for the same process, but then the question is, how do we actually get this into the other 3 positions? So you can do it with normal cross crops, where you basically want it to spread to one of these. Okay, so for instance, I've got that one, and now I suddenly have myself another 333 seed. That's one way to do it. Of course, you've got to wait for it to spread if you do it that way. The other way to do it is a pair of clippers. Right, it's 2 sticks, an iron ingot, and a pair of shears. And what you do is you actually take clippings from a partly grown or mature crop. These clippings will match the stats of the seed that you're clipping. Now, this is the other part of where strength comes in. If these aren't strong enough, they will fail to actually take. Right? So, using clippers on a mature plant means that you'll have more clippings to take. And at some point, you will be able to plant them. Right, but it may take longer. So the benefit in doing it this way is less when the seed is not as strong. So out of 4 clippings, only 1 took. I can also take from this plant because it's actually the same stats. Okay, so as you saw there, because it's so low, the strength is so low, it took longer time for me to get the clippings to plant. If the strength is above 6, you basically got a lot more likelihood that it will take. So in the early stages, it may be better just to get to spread to get extra seeds. However, once you've got your 4 seeds, so these are all 333. Oops. We'll get onto that in a second. Then you can get your 4 up and plant your cross crops for the mutation. Wait for the mutation to take or pop. Okay, there we go. Okay, so once we've done the second round, we've increased our seeds, we've made them parents, 4 lots. We can take that seed and we can see what benefit that gives us. So 4 parents, this has given us, it was 3, 3, 3, so we've got 3 points on growth, 2 points on, 1 point on gain, 1 point on strength. So we effectively got 5 points out of that. Alright, so again, what we do is we get rid of these 4 seeds because they're no good to us anymore. Put down our thing, our crop sticks, plant our seed, 3 more. Grow, then again we can use the clippers. Now that's the difference that this made. So 1 extra strength made it more likely to take, and every one above that makes it, you get ups your success rate. So let's get these grown. Okay, and we once again wait for this to mutate. Okay, there we go. So that popped. So once again we find the one that says that it's unidentified. And we had 644 and we now have 767. So 7 at the top means we got 1 point. 6 on gain means we got 2 points, and 7 on strength means we got 3 points. So we got another 6 points. Alright, so that was our seed, 644, and now it's 767. Okay, and that's just from 4 parents we got 6 points again. Now, I'll show you if we, hang on, all the seeds. Even at this point here, if I right click this, actually let me just toss the wheat out of my, let's get this one. So that gave us 4 as of now. But that's because our growth is 6. Our gain is 4, sorry. It doesn't mean that every one will give you 4. Okay, that only gave me 2. Oh no, that gave me 5. But they won't always give you the same amount. That was my point. Okay. So let's do it once more and see how we go with 767. Okay, and there we go. So it's finally popped again. So let's see what we get out of this one. So our 767 goes up to 879. So 1 point on growth, 1 point on gain, 2 points on strength. So we got a minimum of 4 points out of 4 parents. Right. And that eventually will lead you up to this, which is a 10 by 10 seed. So if we have a look at the 10, 10, 10, alright, get some water, It's already started growing, as you can see. It's quite quick. I'm not even using water. So I was going to use some water and I didn't even have to. Now, let's just get rid of the wheat and see how much this will give me. Is it 10, 10, 10? That gave me 7. Alright, let's do it again. Okay, and it gives me 9. That gave me 7 again. That one gave me 10. So it'll give you a random amount, but it should be that 10, a 10, 10, 10 should always give you more than this one. So that only gave me 4. That one gave me 5. That one gave me 8. That one gave me 5. So statistically it can give me more, but you're more likely to get less. But if you had a whole field of 10, 10, 10, you can see that you would get stacks of wheat very quickly. The last thing I want to mention is the gardening trowel. If for whatever you've got your seeds here planted, so these are the 10, 10, 10s, and for whatever reason I want to move them from here to there, I could break them and then just replant them, but I could also pick them up with a garden trowel and place them back down. You will, however, lose any kind of growth process you've got at that point in time, but it just means that you don't actually have to break the seeds. You can make sure that you don't lose the stats on it, because if you accidentally, let's take these seeds here, so 3, 3, 3, if you accidentally place one vanilla style, you will lose all the stats on it. It will no longer be 3, 3, 3. So I would hate for that to happen to a seed that you've gotten all the way up to the top. Anyway, that is about the end of Agricraft. So keep in mind that you have proper light, watering cans, bone meal help, and having more parents is usually a quicker way to get 10 and 10, but it takes more work than this snake method. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a like, and Uru, have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.